and Lyle Swartzel. Matt, I want to begin with you. First of all, good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Good morning. I hear about your prize. I was a little disappointed I didn't win the $1,000 last weekend on your drawdown.
Did you see that commercial?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, you come rushing through the door, and it's probably like what happens every day at about 6:55 when you're coming in the office.
55? What about 59:45?
Yeah.
Anyway, Matthew Coleman, Cleveland Board of Education member, of course, longtime attorney. But I know you've got something you want to say here this morning.
Yeah, we've been we just kind of would talk about the school over the past 4 years, and it's now getting back into election cycle, and so we kind of made us kind of look at how the board's rolling and what's going on. And over the past 4 years, I've really enjoyed my time on the board and being able to work with both the community, the teachers, the administration, the other board members. There's been a lot of change in the board, which is something that we were looking to accomplish. I think that when I got on the board 4 years ago, I never intended it to be a long-term path for me. It was something that we felt a real passion and desire to get involved in. And so over those times, I've spoken to a lot of community members. Lyle was one of them that would reach out, or I'd reach out to him and say, what do you think about this issue? How do we need to approach this so that we're preparing our students for the future better? And through that time, I thought, okay, well, let's find someone that's going to be able to continue to take those reins. And I was always hopeful that Lyle would be one that would be interested in doing that. And recently, Lyle approached me and said he had a little passion about it. And so through a lot of prayer with my family and with him, I think he has stepped up and said that he'd like to take that over. So I am not going to run for this next election cycle. I'm going to stay involved. There's a couple of projects that I've spoken with some of the board members about being involved in that we'll kind of get some announcements out at some point about and stay pretty active in. I'll probably continue to do this radio spot on Tuesday with the board if they want to do that. I think There's been a lot of interest in that. But I'm just really happy that Lyle is there, and I'm going to let Lyle talk a little bit about himself. But what really drew me to him from even while I was running for election and then now is just we've had this conversation about diversity on the board. Having the board made up of not just educators, but folks that bring other things to the community. And for me, it was law. We've had people in the engineering area and the collegiate level. But Lyle brings in insurance and banking industry. And here we are about to build another school. We've got one of our biggest expenditures within the school system is our insurance and the benefits we bring to our staff. And having people that have that experience. Obviously, he's got family in the school system with a spouse and a child, and it's just I think that diversity is going to continue to grow, and he's got a great passion for the kids. So I don't want to steal his thunder, as I sometimes do. You give a lawyer a microphone, and whether they're billing by the hour or not, it's tough to hand that off. So I'll let Lyle kind of speak for himself there.
Matthew Coleman announcing this morning he is not running for re-election. Cleveland Board of Education. Lyle Swartzel. So this functions, I guess, as your candidate announcement. Good morning, Lyle. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Why do you want to do this?
I don't know. No. Over the last few years, though, I have really looked at getting into something like this. And with SEMA in the school system, my son Joel is a teacher now as well. And just seeing our schools and knowing what a great school system Cleveland is, I want to be part of moving that forward. Seeing what we do for the kids in this community is just amazing. And that's just really why I want to be there and really make a make a
Remind me of the district we're talking about here.
I'm at large, so he would be at that at-large position. Of course, he's got 3 kids that graduated all from Cleveland High School, so he's got the alumni. Maybe they'll be on that Hall of Fame one day here pretty soon, too.
Wow, let me ask you, if you were to be elected at large, Cleveland Board of Education in August, what are a couple things that you're passionate about?
The main passion I really have is the kids. That's really what it boils down to. The kids make a difference, and that's what we're here for. I believe in order to really have great schools, in which we have great schools, it really starts in the elementary schools. making a difference in those elementary school kids, the challenge they have. My wife, she's been teaching at Arnold for 16 years, and that we develop a great elementary school that gives those kids a passion to be Cleveland Blue Raiders. That when they move on to middle school and high school, there's no question they're going to be Blue Raiders. And then when we have those great students there, they're going to go out into the world and make a difference. That we want to make sure they're ready to not just go to college, but enter the workforce, be ready to make a difference day one in the workforce. And that's really what, really my passion is, to make a big difference within our kids.
I tell you something, just to add on to that, we were texting over the weekend while the kids were home. They were cold, and one of the messages among the board members was we really need to get these kids back because they need that warm place. They need that food, okay? And Arnold is one of those schools that has some socioeconomic challenges. And when we toured Arnold back in December and we see his wife, work and love on these kids and hug on these kids, you see the passion that his family has for those children. Because in a lot of cases, as we've discussed, this is the best place those kids have outside of their home, and sometimes a better place in their home. And so bringing somebody in that knows those needs firsthand is just a great asset.
Lyle Swartzel announcing he is going to be a candidate for the Cleveland Board of Education, the at-large. Lyle, if people want more information about you or maybe to get in contact with you, what do you tell them?
Right now, you can reach out to me on Facebook. I don't have a candidate page set up, but I'm on Facebook. A little bit I'm older, so I really don't follow the Instagram as close. I do have an Instagram, but they can always reach out to me. Very simple email, lswartzel@gmail.com. And I can give out my phone number, 423-339-1905. If you have any questions, you want to call me. More than happy to just sit and talk to you and see what you want for Cleveland schools. And I think that's really what I believe that I bring to the table as well is with my wife teaching in the school system, my son teaches special ed over at Ross. I know what the teachers are needing. I hear from them. These are the challenges we have. But also, with my involvement in the community, on the boards that I serve on, civic organizations, the church, being involved in the business, I believe I hear from the community as well.
All right, Matthew Coleman, thank you for your service. And I know, like you say, you're going to stay involved. Lyle Swartzel, now a candidate, Cleveland Board of Education at large. We're going to take a little break for music here. This is a new one. This is Somber on Mix 104.
Download the all-new Mix 104.1 app online at mymix1041.com.